Goddess Mode #1 has finally dropped. We found out about this book, I think, was it in the spring? I think they gave solicits for the Vertigo books. The one thing about these Vertigo books is they are all terrible, except for Brian Hill's. That one was actually okay. This book, though, sucks. And if you don't know, so we got two big names on here for bad reasons. Zoe Quinn, who really doesn't need much of an introduction other than she used to be a part of Gamergate. Now she's inserting herself into Comicsgate. Imagine being so desperate for attention that you hop gate to gate. So we also have Robbie Rodriguez. Robbie Rodriguez is the guy who literally used a tripod, put his cell phone on it, took a picture of his butthole, spread it apart, and sent it to Ethan Van Sciver over Twitter. He received no backlash for that. So Goddess Mode's biggest problem, and believe me, if it would have been good, I would have said so. I've done it before with people I don't like, and I would have done it with this. The problem is this is not good. It's very boring. The story is not very cohesive. It doesn't really have a nice flow to it. It's literally like she went to her closet, grabbed a rough draft for an essay that she was writing in a middle school creative writing class and turned that in. That's what this reads like. It's trash. The art's really boring looking. The story's boring. The way it moves is boring. It's all over the place. So it starts off like she's trying to do an anime, and I have no doubts that she's a weeboo. She starts it off like she's trying to be like, Full Metal Alchemist meets The Matrix, and it starts off with this boring fight. We have no idea what's going on. The people have... So the world is powered by magical technology. What is magical technology? It makes no sense. And then look at this dialogue. It's like literally a quarter of the entire page. You can tell that she went to the school of Brian Michael Bendis for writing. It's like it was a chore. This is the first time I've ever read a book, right? It took me a while to read it because at first I'm going back like, am I missing something here? Because her dad's here. She's talking about how she gets, like when she goes into the Matrix virtual reality world, she can't remember things. So I have no idea what she's talking about because this isn't her, by the way. That's not her. So she's like, when I go in there, the stuff doesn't transfer and I don't remember it. So, and then they're talking about some kind of syndrome. Like, what are you talking about? It's literally like just jumping all over the place. It makes no sense. So this is yet another time where the Snickers ad not only looks better, but it's more entertaining than the actual book itself. Leg Day Wonder Woman. So this is, I was going to say before, this is the first time I've read a comic, and I thought, why do I do this to myself? Why do I read this? Because this was hard to get through. It was super boring. I don't think I've ever been as bored reading a comic. Even I go back and think of like Hex Wives or something, or I'm just like, this is just boring. This book is bad. And of course, like, one of the main problems with these people is, no one ever tells them, you suck. This writing you're giving me, it's terrible. So these people go on, because all day long they see this kind of stuff. One of the freshest artists in comics, and one of the most exciting new voices from outside of comics. Creative miracle. And of course, every review that comes out for this is going to be 8.2, 9.5, 9.9. Like it's the greatest thing in the world when really it's trash. Their heads get bigger and they literally think that they're writing the Lord's work. And that's not the case at all. Like, so I'll show you some stuff here. So, so much dialogue. So much dialogue. This guy's basically, she had to break in, I'm guessing, so they're the Hermetic, where is it? So I think they're called the Hermetic Corps. which is a pun on, I'm pretty sure, the Hermetic Order. I guess pretty damn obvious that Quinn likes magic, MAJIK, not magic like a magic show. And because it's got that pagan stuff all over the book. You're so cool, Quinn. You're so cool. But she broke into the system because of her dad, who's in some weird coma that they reference the disease for constantly throughout the book and never ever explain what it is. Never. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that just gets skipped over here plot-wise. It's like this whole book is like a long run-on sentence. It's terrible. So we have to establish a villain now. So let's just make him the biggest prick you've ever met. Like, no one talks like this, ever. Listen to this dude's dialogue. So I'll just start reading. So he just meets this girl and he's like, I'm going to promote you because, you know, you broke into our system. I can use you as an asset. So I'm going to read you this dude's whole dialogue right here. Just this couple of bubbles. Because he's trying to explain to her that, you know, she's not going to be a part of the culture. So listen to this. Time is a factor, so I'll be brief. Your father's medical device was not the only one afflicted with the Azov anomaly you saw. There was an unprecedented number of system failures across the network. Psyche has already applied Azov-wide fix, but we have a priority user whose safety I cannot monitor remotely. You are to see that his medical equipment is operating normally in person. In person? What time is this? Your overly familiar tone indicates that you mistaken my pragmatism for charity, so let me make myself clear. You are nothing more to me than an asset of dubious value that I am willing to discard the moment you become inconvenienced. I do not trust you, but I do not have to. Beyond the leverage I have on you, your world is powered by Azov and guided by Psyche, both of which are under my dominion. You, despite your technological gifts, have nothing but a debt to your name, and you live in squalor, making you unfit for corporate culture. You will never move into a real position of power. That is why I can use you, Miss Price. You are not a security threat to yourself. You are to anyone other than yourself. Like, okay, yeah, she's just gonna, you know, you're not setting her up to fuck you over later, huh? All right, buddy. Pretty sure that this video is not going to get monetized because of Quinn, so whatever. So here she meets this dude. She talks to him and she ends up touching something, and they don't explain it. I'm guessing it sucks her body into a matrix. So not just her consciousness is in there, her entire body is in there. That's what it seems like, and then it turns her into goddess mode. That would be my guess. So listen to this middle school 6th grade poem she writes. This is what happens when she goes in her. As below, so above, and as above, so below. It is that above which nature hath determined her first operations, metallic nature, and hath left it imperfect. But if you extract this from that thing in which it is found, and shall begin to work about it to perfection, by beginning in that place where nature hath left to imperfect, you shall find perfection in it. We are the beginning, and the first nature of metals. There is no fountain nor water found like unto me. I heal and help both the rich and poor, but yet I am full of hurtful poison. Oh, it's just trash. Complete trash. This is a terrible comic book. It took me 45 minutes to read it because I was bored so much. Check out my Streamy and my Patreon. Those links are in the description. I'm going to do a stream tonight. I'll have 2 more books up. Let me know what you thought about this pile of crap because it's terrible. Terrible. Quinn, go away. Don't listen to the pigs.